with breaking news. This is KAKE News.
Good evening. We begin tonight with that breaking news out of North Wichita. A fire at the Cargill facility near 13th and Mosley. The company there makes seed oils and livestock feed.
KAKE News has two crews around the scene. So first, we'll bring in KAKE's Jack Cooper with a first look at everything that's going on right now. Jack, tell us what you're seeing and what you're experiencing.
Yeah, Chris and Deb, we're on Mosley, just north of 13th Street. I'm going to get out of the way and let this do the talking for me. You can see there is a lot happening here. There is a number of fire crews that are here. I can't count all of them on one hand. There might be double-digit amount of just paramedics and also fire trucks and just everything that's blinking red and blue lights. There's a lot of them here. Now, what we're zooming in on is what fire crews have been focusing on. We were told it's a dryer fire at the Cargill processing plant. You can see they have two crews working on it right now, one on a ladder shooting water down, and then also another crew on the ground shooting water up at what we assume to be the dryer that they were talking about at this point. Now, Sedgwick County Dispatch did just confirm to us that there are no injuries so far, but that is some good news. That's about all we have confirmed. Wichita Fire Department also telling us that they are getting more water on this, so it is starting to cool down. This was thick black smoke for a while when we first got here, but now it's starting to change over to some of this white smoke instead, which is also some good news. There's also more crews as I kind of walk around a little bit. There's more crews down on the other side where you can't see from where our camera is. So they're attacking this fire from all different areas at this time. I know we're going to get a check-in with Kate Devine in just a second as well. So hopefully she'll be able to give you a better idea. Just want to make sure that we ran through everything, but I think that is it. Chris and Deb, we're going to be out here all throughout the rest of the night. As soon as we get any more updates for you, we will be sure to update you as soon as possible up at KAKE.com. But for now, live in North Wichita, Jack Cooper, KAKE News on your side.
Thank you, Jack. Now we're going to keep Jack up, but also shift to KAKE's Kate Devine. Different vantage point on the fire at Cargill. Kate, what are you seeing right now?
We are just on the complete other side of Jack right now, and as you can see behind me, it is quite a scene here. Just take a look at that water there. It is going fast. It is going hard. There is so much smoke. We're actually just on the other side of that fire, and there was so much smoke you could barely see in the building. It was absolutely insane. And as you can see, firefighters are continuing to spray water on the structure now. Like Jack said, the fire was reported around 9 p.m. near 13th and Mosley, and it's still unclear what caused the fire, but dispatch did confirm that right now there are no injuries. And for some background, Cargill is one of the largest food processing facilities in Wichita and operates around the clock. So it's not yet clear if there are still employees inside or if they were inside when the fire started. Now, drivers are being asked to avoid the area as crews continue working to get the fire under control. But this is quite a scene. I don't think I've ever been at a scene and seen this many firefighters here in that smoke. I mean, you could see it from clear miles away. We were just down the street, maybe even 5 minutes away, and we could still see the smoke. Just everything was, it is just quite a scene here. But of course, we'll be on scene here for a while and keep you guys updated on air and online at KAKE.com. Live in downtown Wichita, Kate Devine, KAKE News on your side.
All right, thanks, Kate. And of course, our weather cameras could even see that earlier tonight and alerted us of the smoke. For updates on this story and all breaking news and all news stories, just go to our website, KAKE.com. The Wichita School Board president says next month he'll propose a couple of bond issue recommendations to take to voters. That after a $450 million proposal failed just 1 year ago. And
depending on the outcome, these four elementary schools, Pleasant Valley, OK, Woodland, Louverture, all set to close, could close as soon as next year. KAKE's Kate Devine has a story and what it also means for families.
This has been my neighborhood all my life. This is all I've ever known.
As Aaron Andrews walks his children home from OK Elementary School Monday, he says this is more than just a school. It's his neighborhood, his community, and the place he once walked into as a student.
I'm against it. I went to this school 35 years ago.
Now he's walking those same streets with his own kids. But that's all going to change. The Wichita Board of Education voted 4-2 Monday night to approve a timeline for closing 4 elementary schools. OK Elementary, Pleasant Valley, Louverture, and Woodland. But it all depends on whether a bond issue passes. According to the approved timeline, if a bond doesn't pass, all 4 schools will close next year. If voters approve a bond issue, Louverture and Pleasant Valley would close next year, and OK and Woodland the following year. Outside the meeting Monday, some parents and community members gathered for a peaceful protest saying they're worried about what losing neighborhood schools could mean.
It's something we need to stand up against. Closing neighborhood schools is the wrong thing to do.
But district leaders say the timeline was needed to give school communities a clear idea of what's ahead.
Well, we confirmed tonight the timeline of the 4 schools that were scheduled for to be closed with or without the passage of another bond. And that was designed to give the schools, communities, a clear guideline.
District leaders also say declining enrollment across Wichita Public Schools is a major factor in the decision. But for parents like Andrews, the fight isn't over.
Leave our school alone and let our children learn.
Kate Devine, Fox Kansas News at 9.
Also still mild outside as we close out this Monday, but more storms could be coming through for Tuesday.
Yeah, let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Jay Prater for a look at what's ahead. Jay.
Yeah, once we get into tomorrow late afternoon and into the early evening hours, we're setting the stage for a round of strong to severe thunderstorms with some wind gusts in excess of 60 and even some hail larger than quarter size. And if we get some individual storms, an isolated tornado threat's really not out of the question. Now, here's the setup tomorrow. Cold front is sliding down. Here we are at noon. Now, the yellow line, that's what we call a dry line. This is the deeper moisture. That's the drier air. And the dry line frequently is a focal point for the development of severe thunderstorms. Now, the front is making pretty darn good process, but after 5 o'clock, that's where you start to see some thunderstorms developing in the vicinity of that dry line. But it's a fairly narrow window where we go from these individual storms ahead of the dry line and along the front, including like Kingman, Hutch, Wichita, Medicine Lodge, and Emporia and Eureka, to more of a line. Once we develop that line of storms, well, the tornado threat drops almost to zero, except for some little quick brief spin-ups on the leading edge, and it's more of a heavy rain and hail threat. So tomorrow, you want to update with Frank, we get some latest model data. Either way, the good news, it looks like by the time we get to about 10 or 11 o'clock, the threat for any kind of severe weather is pretty much out of KAKE land. So again, a conditional threat. Let's talk about what's going on outside now. It is a clear sky. What an incredibly warm day we had today. I'll talk about the records coming up, but it's 57 degrees. The temperature right now is a typical high for this time of year. 61 at 8, 74 at noon. We're going to warm to 82 degrees. Keep in mind, 57 is a typical high, and that 4 o'clock is before the storm should pop up after about 5 or 6 o'clock. And after that high in the 80s, big cool down Wednesday, another big cool down Saturday to Sunday. And with that chill down, we're going to get some really gusty winds coming up, Deb.
All right, thanks, Jay. Well, new video tonight, a homeowner says shows a man trying to grab an 8-year-old girl as she was walking on the street in West Wichita.
The suspect is now in custody in the Sedgwick County Jail facing aggravated kidnapping and child abuse charges. Police say this happened on North Gordon, that's near West Central by St. Paul. 2 days later, neighbors shared this home security video recorded around the same time police say the attempted kidnapping took place. The neighbor who shared this says she wants the video to be a safety warning and a reminder for all. Across the street, another neighbor says what happened just steps away from his front yard has rattled him.
My daughter's the same age that she is, so I was, crazy. I had to call my kids to make sure they were good, for sure.
Does that give you any anxiety?
Yeah, definitely gives me anxiety,
In the case, police arrested a 27-year-old man named Tanner Warren. The neighbors we spoke with say they recognized neither the man nor the girl and add that Saturday was a reminder of the dangers that can even reach front yards.
A longtime Wichita North High School automotive teacher died over the weekend. Police say 60-year-old Don Stock was working underneath a car Saturday night in Bel Air near 37th and Woodlawn when the jack slipped, causing the car to fall on him. Emergency crews say Stock died on scene. The school says he dedicated many years to teaching and left a lasting impact on generations of students.
The KBI says it arrested a man in connection with a weekend homicide in Coyville in Wilson County. Deputies came out on reports of gunfire last night at a home on 2nd Street. There they found 37-year-old Lucas Pickle of Fredonia outside with an RV with a gunshot wound. The KBI says he died on scene. Investigators say Pickle had been using drugs inside the RV with others before the shooting. Deputies arrested William Westcott of Coyville. He's 52 on suspicion of second-degree murder.
President Trump now says the war in the Middle East may soon be over after earlier warning it could last weeks. Coming up, how the conflict continues to affect global oil prices.
And also, we're seeing the start of the NFL free agency season starting with the Chiefs getting Travis Kelce back, but also Super Bowl MVP coming to run for a red and gold. That's later in sports.
And taking a live look outside on this Monday night after a beautiful day. Still mild out there, but big storms could be headed our way. Jay Prater takes a look when we come back.
Now, your KAKE First Alert forecast with meteorologist Jay Prater.
Look how widespread the 80s were today. I mean, all the way up into Nebraska. Now, we only made it to 77 in Wichita, where some of those 80s records, absolutely. Medicine Lodge, that broke a record from 1899. 1986, Salina. 2021 in Hill City. The Elkhart record of 84 broke a record from 1902. Liberal from 1972, and a 1986 record in Russell fell by the wayside. Outside, 64 degrees at the Commerce Bank building. Gorgeous night from Equity Bank Park, where it's currently 63. Let's go live to our Weather Now Network camera in Hutch, where it's 65. The wind's pretty light, only at 6 miles per hour. Salina, from the roof of KSAL, we're currently 66. The wind's only gusting to about 8. So now we'll head out west. Garden City, the Co-op at 63 degrees, still just a touch breezy, 24 miles per hour. And in Goodland, courtesy of Frontier Ag right now, it's 54. The winds are out of the south at 13 miles per hour. Already down to 48 in Elkhart. The reason it's cooling so quickly out west is because the air is very dry. But compared to 24 hours ago, it is warmer everywhere except El Dorado and Medicine Lodge. Yet the dew point's 12 in Elkhart. Dry air, heats quickly, cools quickly, but really moist air is part of the fuel we need to fire those severe thunderstorms with the winds out of the south. I already talked about the dry line. We'll see how that sets up tomorrow. Over the past 12 hours, we've dealt with a lot of sunshine. Pretty easy to see the spin. That storm is kicking out. That's going to help drive a severe risk across a big part of Texas into Oklahoma. And then here's the front dropping down from the north. And we are worried about severe weather after about 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon through about 11 o'clock, including greater Wichita. Damaging wind gusts, large hail. Individual cells also do have an isolated tornado threat. So there's the cold front, there's the dry line. After about 5 o'clock, we start cooking and we start popping those thunderstorms. We'll watch for that tornado potential until we form a line. Then it's all about the heavy rain, the wind, and the hail at that point. And notice after about 11, we're done with it. Now, could there be showers on the back side of the front? Yes, but that would not be a severe risk. And those would leave really quickly on Wednesday. Notice the winds out of the north on Wednesday. Yeah, that's cooling wind. Big time cool down, only to have a big time rebound on Thursday. So tomorrow afternoon, kind of breezy out of the south ahead of that front, gusting to 25. You want the winds? Wednesday afternoon, that colder air, wind gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. And then guess what happens overnight Wednesday night? The winds shift, and by Thursday afternoon, it's going to be a breezy to windy day with those winds coming out of the south and southwest, warming you right back up. So tomorrow morning, we're going to be in the 50s, and then tomorrow afternoon, the impact of that front. It won't be 80s in Smith Center. It'll be 60s, but still 80s for Wichita and El Dorado and across southwest Kansas. Will that be in near record territory? Near record, but I don't think we'll set any. And then Wednesday afternoon, there's your day down into the 50s with that colder breeze out of the north, only to have it shift. And after a chilly start Thursday morning, close to freezing by Thursday afternoon, 60s in Wichita and 70s across western Kansas. And then looking ahead, Saturday looks great, but overnight Saturday night and into Sunday, a front slides through. So during the day Sunday, there's a small chance we might have a few showers mixed in with a few flakes of snow, and then it's really going to chill down by the time we get to Monday. 54 will be your low tonight. 55 in El Dorado under a mostly clear sky. I mean, that's close to a typical high. Tomorrow, I think at least 80, 81 El Dorado, 78 Hutch. Starting 5 o'clock and later, we will be watching for the development of severe thunderstorms. And then Wednesday, if there's a small shower chance early, it gives way to sunshine. It's windy with a high of 56. It's breezy at 64 Thursday. You know, the St. Patty Day parade's coming up Saturday in Delano. Looks great, mid-70s. And then look at Sunday. Maybe a chance of a shower, and then 46 for the high on Monday. We got good timing for the parade this year. North Central Kansas clear down to 40 haze, 48 in Salina. Tomorrow, winds out of the northwest behind the front, 68 Russell, 74 Salina and Great Bend. The chance of a storm would be like Great Bend, Salina, Abilene. For haze, for Russell, Beloit, don't think you're going to see anything at all except that gusty winds and colder air on Wednesday. 50s, upper 60s Thursday, Friday, 70s Saturday. Here comes that chill down Sunday. It might be a few spotty showers, ending as a couple of flakes of snow, then 44 on Monday. And for western Kansas tonight, Mostly clear, 40 Goodland, Scott City, 42 in Garden. Tomorrow, temperatures still 80 in Dodge and 80 plus in Liberal and Elkhart, but only 60s and close to 70 across northwest Kansas. The chance of a late day storm is best Liberal Cimarron east. You get west of there, you just don't think you're going to have one pop that far west. Wednesday is cooler across the southwest, mid 50s, mid 70s Friday, 80 Saturday. Here comes a very small chance of a sprinkle or a couple of flakes Sunday night, and then it's 52 on Monday. And across northwest Kansas, we cool to 50 on Wednesday, but rebound to 78 Saturday. Sunday, that chance of a sprinkle changing over to a few flakes of snow before it tapers off with a high of 50 on Monday. Let's give away an umbrella. Tonight's winner is Patricia Jerome from Wichita, who says, my granddaughter's birthday is coming up and yellow is her favorite color. I would love to win her a yellow umbrella. Well, Patricia, congratulations. You did. Go to KAKE.com/contest if you would like a chance too. Chris?
Thank you, Jay. President Trump now says the war involving Iran could end sooner than expected. After the break, why he's taking that stance publicly.
We continue following that breaking news from North Wichita. Massive fire at Cargill. That's a facility near 13th and Mosley. The company there makes seed oils and livestock feed.
And for anybody who might be in North Wichita, even Northwest Wichita, might catch some of the smoke that might be also coming from some of this. Now check back in with KAKE's Jack Cooper for an update.
Chris and Deb, I was just going to say the same thing. If you step outside in Wichita, especially northwest Wichita, you can probably see some of this smoke out here behind us. You can see there are about, I think there's still 3 hoses. I think you can see 2 hoses right now that are still attacking this fire. They've been focusing on that one part of Cargill. We were told it was a dryer fire that started just a little bit ago. Sedgwick County Dispatch has confirmed to us that there are no injuries, so that is some good news. There are these 2 hoses, one from that ladder that's pointing straight across into what we assume to be the dryer, one from the ground, and then one on the other side of the building that we can't really see from where we are. Some more good news as this still develops. Wichita Fire Department told us that with the water getting on the fire, everything is starting to cool down. That's why the smoke, which was very thick black smoke that we saw less than half an hour ago, 20 minutes ago when we were talking to you last, is now turned into more of this white smoke that you see instead. We can still smell it. There's still alarms going off at Cargill. There are a lot of fire crews out here. There's at least 10 plus fire trucks out here. We've seen groups of firefighters working out here, kind of working in teams, waiting until the next ones can start attacking this fire. But Chris and Deb, that's really all the information that we have so far. Again, this only happened a little bit ago. Wichita Fire Department, once they get the fire out, that's when we expect them to actually be able to give us some details. What started the fire? What happened here? And again, to confirm that there were no injuries. Sedgwick County Dispatch did tell us that, which again is some good news. Chris and Deb, we'll still be out here if we're going to check back in just a little bit. But for now, we'll have more updates on our website. That's KAKE.com. Live in North Wichita, Jack Cooper, KAKE News, on your side.
All right, Jack, thanks so much for that update. For updates on this story and all breaking news, just go to our website, KAKE.com.
Today, President Trump spoke to the nation, saying the war in the Middle East could soon be over. This after initially saying that America should be ready for weeks of war. Iran is moving ahead, electing the son of the late Supreme Leader to replace his father. Melissa Adon has the latest.
President Trump announcing tonight that the operation in Iran will be ending soon, saying the war is very far ahead of schedule.
We're achieving major strides toward completing our military objective. And some people could say they're pretty well complete.
Strikes continue across the Middle East. This after a new supreme leader emerges in Iran, the second eldest son of the slain Ayatollah, tapped to take his father's place. But President Trump says he's not happy with the decision.
We think they should put a president in, or the head of the country in, that's going to be able to do something peacefully for a change.
Today, stocks are recovering amid a volatile swing in oil prices in response to Trump's announcement that the war with Iran could be over soon. All 3 major indexes ending in the green. The price of crude also dropping back below $100 a barrel after futures soared over the weekend. Across the country, gas prices soaring as the Strait of Hormuz remains closed. Prices here are almost $6 a gallon. That's a 50-cent increase from just last week. And this is just one gas station here in LA that's seeing prices well over $5 a gallon. Drivers like Michelle in Boston say they're concerned.
If it stays like this, it's going to be pretty bad.
Analysts warn there may be a ripple effect beyond the gas pump. Grocery prices, airfare, and the cost to do business for farmers and small businesses. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
For Travis Kelce, the era's not over in Kansas City. Set to come back for year 14, but also a big addition from the Super Bowl, joining as running back. Next in sports.
Oh, Chris.
Now from the KAKE Sports Desk, here's KAKE Sports anchor Noah Sacco.
Well, he's not done yet. According to the NFL Network and multiple reports, Travis Kelce is running it back with the Chiefs. This comes after weeks of waiting on his decision to retire or return. And now the three-time Super Bowl champion will return for his 14th season with Kansas City. One of the most decorated tight ends in NFL history, Kelce informed the team of his decision this morning before the start of the new league year on Wednesday, one that would have made him an unrestricted free agent. Per ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Chiefs have agreed to a one-year, $12 million deal for Kelce with a maximum value of $15 million, a deal that could be his last in the league. The 36-year-old has spent his entire 13-year career with Kansas City, becoming the Chiefs' all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns, among many others. Safe to say, longtime teammates are happy to have him back. Patrick Mahomes expressing excitement on his Instagram account, posting photos of the two with a caption of a clock and arrow emojis. Meanwhile, Chris Jones joins in the social media celebration. The star defensive tackle quoting a post on X with a caption of hugs and a crown emoji, then writing, "We're so back." Jones has been a vocal advocate this offseason for Kelce to return. Roughly an hour after that Kelce news, the Chiefs make another seismic splash in free agency. Former Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker III is signing with Kansas City, a new home for the Super Bowl 60 MVP, upgrading the backfield with one of the most explosive talents in the league. Considered the top running back option in free agency, the 25-year-old is coming off his best season with the Seahawks, leading the NFL in postseason rushes, rushing yards, and rushing scores. The Chiefs agreed to a 3-year, $45 million deal with Walker, the highest paid free agent deal for a running back in NFL history. Looking to improve a rushing attack that ranked 25th in yards per game last season, Walker will certainly be the Chiefs' new lead back for the 2026 season, with Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco both being free agents. And Walker wasting no time to share his excitement on social media, posting this photo with the caption, "Chiefs Kingdom." Then it's Mahomes, QB1, quoting that post with a caption reading, "Let's go." Surely happy to have some help in uplifting the offense next season. Guys in the trenches also weighing in. Chiefs left guard Kingsley Suamataia quoting the post with a caption, "Can't wait to block for you, brother." It doesn't stop there. Chiefs also adding some versatility to its defense, signing Patriots former defensive tackle Kyrie's Tonga, agreeing to a 3-year, $21 million deal. The 29-year-old played in 14 games in his lone year with New England, totaling 24 tackles. A flexible option that played 14 offensive snaps as a fullback, Tonga helps to fill that Chiefs need at nose tackle. And the Chiefs secondary picks up its newest talent, signing free agent safety Alohi Gilman to a 3-year, $24 million deal with $15 million guaranteed. The 28-year-old started the 2025 season with the Chargers before being acquired by the Ravens in early October. He became one of Baltimore's leaders in the secondary. He totaled over 320 tackles between the Raiders, Ravens, and the Chargers. So here's a look thus far at who the Chiefs lost in free agency. Rams signed cornerback Jalen Watson on a 3-year deal, joining former Chiefs corner Trent McDuffie. Another corner is on the move as well. Titans signed Josh Williams on a 2-year contract, while the Bengals signed safety Brian Cook for a 3-year stint. Meanwhile, backup quarterback Gardner Minshew is headed to the Cardinals. Former Chief will be signed to a 1-year contract. Well, the Big 12 men's basketball tournament tips off tomorrow in Kansas City, but not before the conference unveils its best of the best, naming KU big man Flory Bidunga the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. The first Hawk to win the award since Dwan Harris Jr. in 2023, Bidunga leads the Big 12 and ranks second nationally in block shots and blocked shots per game. The sophomore center has been just as efficient from the floor, leading the conference with a 64% shooting clip. That's Check It Sports. We'll be right back.
And we continue to follow that breaking news, a massive fire at the Cargill facility in North Wichita at 13th and Mosley.
KAKE's Jack Cooper's been following this, so take us through about a half hour after we first heard from you tonight.
Yeah, Chris and Deb, we're still standing in the exact same spot. So if you've been watching KAKE News at 10, not much has changed. Maybe for about 30 seconds to a minute, the wind shifted and blew all that smoke into our faces instead. But again, it looks like it's calmed down a lot, but it really hasn't. The smoke is just blowing away from us. There are still 3 crews that are fighting this fire. 1 on a ladder on this side, 1 on the ground on this side, and then also another crew on the other side of the building where we can't see that's also attacking this fire. There's a ton of fire crews out here right now just trying to fight this. Sedgwick County Dispatch did confirm no injuries, so there is some good news on that. Updates over at KAKE.com. Live in North Wichita, Jack Cooper, KAKE News, on your side.
All right, Jack, thanks so much. And before we go, quick check of the weather.
Just a reminder, tomorrow afternoon after 5 o'clock, we are concerned about the potential for severe thunderstorms. Get an update tomorrow morning from Frank. And as we get into the afternoon, we'll refine the threat for you.
All right, that's going to do it for KAKE News at 10.
Kimmel is next. Hope you join us for Good Morning Kansas starting at 4:30.